because he didn't want to, stand up and dump $2,000 worth of equipment on the concrete. So basically, a struggle ensues. Um, he gets pepper sprayed, tasered, hobbled. They put a nylon strap around his ankles and stick him in the car and hold him in jail for 18 days. See, after I talked
With
to
no
Demi,
charge?
no, they charge him with, get this, trespassing and resisting arrest because they said that he
Trespassing in a public parking lot?
right, trespassing for non-crime, yes, trespassing and resisting arrest is what Demi was charged with. You know, there were all
How
white
can you be
officers.
trespassing in a public property?
You can't be, but it gets better. They hold him in jail
So
for eight.
therefore, that's an unlawful arrest.
Exactly. Okay, exactly. So they
Now,
hold
it's
him
my
for
understanding that they had him pinned to the ground and
yes,
then maced him. He's pinned on the
right,
ground. And as a combat guys, I'm gonna fill you guys in. As a guy, I've worked as security. All right, I've been security. I've been a bouncer. And when you're handling people, when you're handling a problem, I was trained to avoid escalating the violence. And it
right.
seems like they were eager to
Oh,
escalate
they
the
were
violence.
absolutely eager.
When you pepper spray a person, the initial reaction when the pain hits you, your body shudders and jumps, and you start bucking.
Right.
What is the point? How are you going to pacify somebody who is held down on the ground by macing them in the face?
Right.
How is that not torture?
I've done. You're absolutely right. It's called pain compliance in law enforcement. And if anybody wants to learn all about pain compliance, they can just look at the Wikipedia page. It literally is the use of painful stimulants to or stimulus to elicit compliance. But I read five police. I read five police reports from Demi's assault and kidnapping, and the language they used for when they deployed the OC gas, which is the pepper spray, was they used the spray to quote calm Demi down. You know,
You cannot calm anyone
right?
down by applying pain to them.
No,
Pain makes the person move involuntarily.
right,
You have no control over your body. When you get hit with a cattle prod, you
right,
jolt.
right. They tasered him
You
3 times.
move, you scream.
They tasered him
It
3
doesn't
times
work.
after he was pepper sprayed in the face. Not only does it cause the pain of the pepper spray, I've been pepper sprayed as well. The pain of the pepper spray causes you to tense up and to kind of want to curl into a ball to protect yourself. Okay, and you can't breathe.
This is happening while you got a pylon on you. You got a bunch of men
Sure.
on top of you. You cannot move, and then they apply mace.
Sure.
What the fuck is wrong with
There was
these guys?
4 male
Who's training
officers
these
and 1 female. The female was holding Demi's laptop, and the 4 male officers were on top of him. You know.
So you got 4 guys. If there's 4 dudes who cannot control a person, you shouldn't be a fucking cop.
Exactly. They need to find another fucking job, really. They're incompetent cowards.
Real. You have a dangerous job. It's like being a fireman who says, you know what, guys, I'm sorry, but I can't carry that hose up the ladder. Well, if you can't carry the hose up the ladder, you don't get to be a fireman.
Exactly.
And it should be the same with police officers. If you can't physically do the job, get the fuck out.
Abso-fucking-lutely. If you're that much of a fucking coward, like, if you're that much of a coward, fuck you, you don't deserve to be a cop. Really.
We're going to take a break for song on Heart Attack. I got Mike Blue Hair with me from, it's Film the Police Portland, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. We'll be right back after this song. I'm Hart D. Fisher. We're going to bring more Heart Attack. I figured we hit a good ending for that segment there, Mike.
Oh, perfect, yeah. No big deal, brother. No big deal.
I'm trying to get some stuff, and I want to break some of this down so people really have a better understanding of what is happening. Because the newspapers and the reporters on television, the way they portray these weapons,
sure,
when they originally developed stun guns and the idea of having the taser, they sold that by saying this is a safer way to deal with PCP people it's a safer way to deal with rampaging drug offenders.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
and the idea of a pain compliance device is asinine.
right.
You're not allowed to smack somebody in the head with your nightstick and say, "Hey, you better do what I say, or I'm going to smack you in the face with a nightstick." It's the same thing.
Right.
There's
Exactly.
no difference.
It is exactly the same thing. A lot of pain compliance has to do with finger holds. Like they'll put you in cuffs and then they'll grab you by your.
Wait, dude. Let me record Heart Attack again, and let's get right into this and discuss what pain compliance is.
Okay, cool, perfect. Just asking.
All right,
I've done quite a bit of reading.
All right, we are recording Heart Attack 75. We are in segment 2. I am going to count us in. 3, 2, 1. I am Hart D. Fisher. Welcome back to Heart Attack. We have Mike Bluehair with us from Film the Police Portland, and we're talking about some of the behaviors that are happening in Ferguson and also happening around the country. Because what's happening with our police forces and the clashes between the civilians, and I love the way that they portray us as civilians. We're not civilians. You're not in the Army, folks. You're a police officer, and you serve the public at our discretion. Remember that, folks.
Yeah, they're civilians.
They are civilians.
Absolutely.
Too. They are not in a military organization. They are police officers whose job is to serve and protect the public. But the courts have said no. Actually, their job is to service the law, not you, the public. Now, Mike, you were getting ready to go into these pain compliance. What is that, Mike? What does that mean?
Okay, there's something called the use of force continuum. It's doctrine that's part of law enforcement training, and you know, if X happens, you're supposed to do Y and Z. You know, and pain compliance is things like once somebody is in handcuffs, if they're still being unruly, you know, the officer is allowed to grab the person by the pointing finger, the middle finger, and the other phalange right by the pinky, and hold those fingers and twist your wrist clockwise, pointing up at the sky. Now, what that does is it allows the officer to be able to turn up the volume on the pain you feel on your wrist. Okay, they can either hold it steady, or slightly bend their wrist in, or bend the wrist in a little more, bend the wrist a little more, and each time, every few centimeters cause a little bit more and more pain. It can cause permanent nerve damage. It's called pain compliance.
As a martial artist, Mike, let me define this.
That's called a wrist lock, and you can break someone's wrist with it, yes.
It doesn't take much.
No.
These officers are not trained martial artists. They do not get the amount of training I've had as a martial artist. And what I can tell you, when you are working with joint manipulation, that is what this is. You're twisting the joint against itself, causing it to destroy itself. That is where the pain comes from. And you're very right. It's very easy to cause nerve damage.
Sure.
It only takes a couple centimeters of twisting to go from pain to break. And I've actually seen people have their wrists broken by officers on the Fox show Cops. I've watched some of these cop shows, and I'm going, I can't believe this is on the air on camera. They just broke that guy's wrist, and now they're screaming, "Oh, he's fighting us! He's fighting us!" Well,
and they don't even make any fucking mention of it in those shows either. They just show them breaking their wrist or whatnot, and they don't even mention it on those shows. It's like it didn't happen.